Hey there, fellow real estate professionals. Wanted to do a quick video on CloudCMA, a member benefit that we get by being members of the Pacific West Association of Realtors. You can see that I've logged into Matrix here, and under the external links, you'll see CloudCMA. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this and show you a little bit about what this offers. CloudCMA is a pretty cool product for many reasons. Number one, it's not just a way to create a CMA. It does a few other things than that. It does CMAs, it also does property reports, it does presentations, and it actually is a tool I use to respond to leads, and I can show you that a little bit later. The other thing that I really like about CloudCMA is the quality of the presentations that come out. I've had a lot of agents ask me, what do you use to put together your CMAs? And you go through and you do a CMA directly in Matrix, and there's a lot to be desired there. It doesn't really give you anything pretty and powerful that you can present to your clients, and I know many of you agents really want to have something powerful like that to present. So this is the CloudCMA interface. It's free with our board dues, which is fantastic. They're also local in Orange County and Huntington Beach. I think that's nice to have them on our own backyard. Once you log in, first thing that I would recommend you do is go up here to your settings and get into your settings screen, fill out all your information, get your photo, get your company logo uploaded, get all your information filled in using these tabs. One other thing that I'll tell you about is page contents. You can create your own pages to add to your presentations. You might use that for adding in your resume, adding in client testimonials. They've actually got a few things like that in here that you can change and add to. And you can also create your own by clicking Create Page. So I went ahead and uploaded an image of a form where buyers come from. So that is a form that I can now use. Once you're finished with that, you can go back to your homepage, and you have a few options. At the top, you've got CMA, you've got a buyer's tour, you've got a property, and you've got a flyer. I'm going to show you what each one of these are in a second here. But first, I just wanted to show you how to do one. Let's click on CMA, and I'll show you. Pretty simple. Here's all the CMA reports that I've done, and there's a big blue button to create a new CMA. Now, there's two ways to create a comparative market analysis in here. Once you get your client's information filled in, the property information, upload a photo, and all the basic information there, you can either go in and add all the properties you want from the MLS using the MLS numbers, or you can use what's called the quick and dirty method, which is basically just finding all the properties that are nearby, minimum 10 listings, only go back 6 months. Unfortunately, the information you get is going to be hand-selected by a computer, and I think most of you know that when you're doing your comparative market analysis, you want to be real thorough with looking at what properties best represent your subject property. So I pretty much always use enter the MLS numbers as the option, unless I just really need to get something out to a client quickly, just for them to browse through and maybe just to get my information in front of them, and then I'll have the option to go and see them at some other point. Okay, so basically the way I do it is I go through, I do my search, and then in Matrix I will just pull up the agent one-line report, and I will just copy and paste all of these MLS numbers, and I'll put them right back into CloudCMA. Real simple. Once you're done with that, you'll hit fetch. So I'll show you one that I've actually already completed here, and let's see, we'll use this one that I did for Sally Seller. So as you can see, I've got all my MLS numbers entered, I've got my information entered for a property that was recently sold, and I click fetch. It does tell me once I've done this one time, it says, hey, this is going to get new information. Is that what you want? Are you sure? So it tells you a little warning to make sure if you're about to overwrite some of the information that you've already put on there, which is good. That's a good thing for sure. It'll now gather the data. It's going to go find this stuff from the MLS. One thing I really would have liked to have seen is direct integration with Matrix. I would love to be able to just check off the listings I want, click a CloudCMA button, and have them come right to this screen automatically. Unfortunately, we're not quite there yet, but the step of copying and pasting MLS numbers doesn't take you that much time. You get to a listing screen. You can organize them by any number of different things. You can come down here and you can drag and drop to put them in a specific order that you want. All kinds of fun stuff. Shows them on a map. You can put in your suggested list price, which could be a range, a specific number, or you can leave it blank depending on your preference. And once you have all that information in there, I always verify and go through and just make sure I've got all my listings in there. And then I'll go ahead and hit customize. Once I hit customize, it's going to take me here to this screen where I can choose all the different things that I want to include in the CMA. Title page, cover page, contact me, etc. I'll show you what all these look like. And then there's tons more over here. Introduction, listings, analysis, closing, guidance, custom pages section. You can see the where buyers come from is the one that I previously uploaded. So let's go ahead and add that in there. And then you can add and subtract as needed. You can change the order of all these. Maybe I want the sold price and property analysis to go there. And it's really pretty robust. There's a lot of content. I recommend you go through your first time and look at all these different things and see how could you use these in your presentations. You can change your headline. You can change your theme. I have this set up for dark red. You'll see the color scheme in a second. You can, a lot of the major franchises, if you're with one of the franchise companies, the color schemes have already been created for you. I've even seen some brokerages that are in there. I'm not sure which ones are local. I haven't really studied it in depth, but yours might be in there already with your logos and schemes put into place. And the last thing you do is you hit publish, and that's all. Okay, it's real simple. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a few different options as it publishes. It's going to give me the chance to view it, to share it, to email it, and to create a actual presentation, which I'll show you what that looks like. So once I'm here, again, I can pop up a window to email it to somebody. I can even force the system to pop up my actual desktop if I'm using Outlook or what have you, or I can grab a link. I can share it, not only with links, I can put it on Twitter. If I link my Twitter account, I can generate a QR code. And anytime when someone scans that QR code, the entire presentation will be accessible to them, which is awesome. I can view it as a PDF, and I can do a presentation, which I'll talk about in just 1 second. So let's take a look at what these look like. So first of all, here is what the CMA looks like. Really clean. It's got colors that match our company logo. It's got a contact page. And then it's got all the different pages that I included. What's a CMA? Map of the listings, etc. Summaries, the property details, and there are a ton. And it gives real big, pretty looking pictures. I think it's real powerful for people to be able to go through and see all this stuff when you're at their presentation, or if you drop this off or email it to them. If I go a little farther down here, I'll get past all the properties, and I'll see all the rest of the options that I included here. I think I have about 8 listings with tons of photos. So here we go. We've got statistics, we've got analysis, action plan for marketing. This is all customizable. You can include all this yourself. There's some objection handlers in here, which you'll see is in the presentation as well, and all kinds of good stuff. And anything that you want to include, you include. If you don't want it, you don't have to include it. So really, it's kind of cool to have all this this information for you. So that's our CMA. Now, if we looked at our CloudCMA again, there's also buyer tour, property, and flyer. So we'll take a look at each one real quickly. This is just a flyer for a listing, okay? Real simple, 4 photos. The description's been pulled from the multiple listing service. You got a QR code, and you've got your information all the way at the bottom. Really nice looking. You've also got a buyer tour, which I think is really nice. Here's our 4 listings that we're gonna go see today, Bob. There's my contact information. I've included this home buying process, which you can edit, map of all the listings, their MLS numbers, where they are, prices, and so on. And then the property details. And I'll show you something that I really like about this. It shows obviously all the photos. I can include certain photos. I can include decide not to have as many photos. And then it's got this rating page. How would you rate the property? What are your comments? And I think the more that you get them to make comments while you're with them and get them to rate the properties while you're with them, it really helps you to close for the offer when the time is right. Okay. Then there's all these photos and all kinds of other good stuff in there. I'll show you for each property. It's also going to show you school district information. These are clickable links that will take you to their websites, which is cool. So all kinds of really good stuff in there. That's the buyer's tour. I think that's a really nice thing to have. I don't know how many agents out there actually hand their clients a full package of everything they're going to go look at for the day in order of what they're going to see, and then ask them to actually make some notes on the property. What did you like about this one? What would you give it? 4 stars, 5 stars? How would you rate it compared to the last one? So on. Last one we got here is a just a general property report. This is for buyers or sellers, but it goes way beyond just a flyer. This gives all the details about the property. It gives all the photos that are included with the listing. Neighborhood information, who lives here, which is kind of cool. Breakdown of demographics. Recent nearby sales, which are clickable as well. I think this, yeah, it does. It takes you to Zillow to find information about properties that have recently sold. There's a bad word, Zillow, depending on who you are. Some people love them, some people hate them, but the reality is all your clients are looking there anyway, so might as well get used to embracing it for the time being. I included the online valuation estimate. Again, if this was an active listing, my client's going to know that number already, so I might as well be ready to handle the objection if I need to. It gives a breakdown of loan scenarios, which I love, payments, principal, interest, down payment, etc. And really just a nice set of features to have. Okay, so I talked about the presentation view as well, which is right here. When I click that, it's going to open up a presentation, which we'll take a look at here together. So here's a quick look at the presentation version of the CMA that we can create. This has been optimized for tablets. I'm currently viewing this on an iPad 2. Basically, I emailed myself the link to the presentation, and I clicked on the link within my Mail app, and it opened in Safari. So it is mobile optimized. I have not tried this on an Android at this point. It's pretty neat, though. You can actually go through and swipe through all the pages in the presentation. First page we get to is a summary of all the properties on a map. And whenever I click the home button down here at the bottom, it will take me back to this map page. I can zoom, I can pan out, pan in, I can switch to satellite version of the map, get all the way down in there, and then I can actually click on the properties, and it will take me right to the properties. You can see it's actually quite responsive. And then if I go back to my home button, it'll take me right back to the map there. Then I can continue scrolling through. It'll take me through all the listings. I like that it goes from sold, and then it tells me a little write-up about what the solds mean. Best indicator of what your home is worth. That's important to explain to a seller. And I can keep scrolling as I see fit. Whenever I get to a listing I want more information about, I can swipe up, and it'll take me to all the photos for that property. And I can click on the photos. I can scroll through those photos, get the better, bigger images, etc. So as you can see here, this does require data. That's something to be aware of when you're at your presentation. You'll need to have either cellular data or access to Wi-Fi in the property. I can swipe back down, get back to the main screen. One thing I'll tell you as well is it gives me the bedrooms, the baths, and the square footage, but it's lacking for a lot of other data, or for any other data for that matter. I could think of things like days on market, list price versus sale price, things like that you might want to know when you're at a presentation. I can keep scrolling through and just go through all my different listings here. Once I get past all the actual listings, I'll get to a couple of graph screens that are interactive with data on there, which is nice. And I can keep going through that. And then it actually gets me to a close screen, which I really think is a well thought out feature. It says to sign and complete a listing agreement. So there's a close for you. I think that's fantastic, really well thought out. There's a couple of objection handlers in here that you probably have seen before as well, and then a nice thank you. So all in all, I think it's really a great step forward in technology. It's really a neat idea. It is optimized for tablets. Just love to see a little bit more data on there for usage. But all in all, it's a neat tool to have at your disposal. So that's basically a walkthrough of CloudCMA. I think the biggest gripe I have, honestly, is just getting the MLS numbers into CloudCMA. I wish we could just have it automatically checked off from our results page and then put into a presentation. But I find when I print this along with the customized tax record that has a lot of robust data in there as well, and bind it, put a cover letter, cover sheet, cardboard stock back to it, it really is a nice package that you can just hand right over to your client. I'll give you another last little tip here. Two tips. One, watch the videos. They really explain everything on how to get this thing going and ready for use. The second one is this link here. It says creating reports with email. One of the coolest things that I use CloudCMA for is I can literally send an email to this address, property@cloudcma.com. I put my subject line to be whatever I want the report headline to be, and then I can just put the MLS number in here. And once I send that, I get an email back with a link to that report. So let's say here's exactly how I use it. Let's say I get a lead from an online source, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, whatever you use. As soon as that lead comes in, I have an autoresponder that sends them a text, sends them an email. I call them if the number's there, and then I do exactly what I just showed you. I craft an email, I put the MLS number in it, and when I get the link back, which takes usually 30 to 50 seconds, I send the client this link and I do a little write-up. I have a draft email that says, hey, I got your online property inquiry. Here's a full report including all the pictures and all the detailed information that wasn't available to you online. Please let me know when we can speak. And then all they have to do is click the link, and it's going to pull up the full property report for them, and now they've got that right there. You can do this on the road, from your Android, from your iPhone. I really think it's pretty powerful. So hopefully you enjoyed these tips and you saw some value in the walkthrough. All in all, I think it's an amazing product to be used, and I highly recommend you take advantage of it to create really nice looking presentations. We'll talk soon. Thanks.